back, Super Brain, and my question to you is, how's your memory? It's what? It's super, right? And I'm going to prove it to you in this lesson. Previously, we talked about the 10 keys for unlocking what we call your super brain. It was 10 lifestyle hacks. And I want to go deep in a few of these because they are so vital in unlocking your potential. And the first one I wanted to talk about, do you remember the 10 keys? Of course you do, because we're going to teach you how to remember that in a future lesson. The first one was a really good brain diet. So in this lesson, I want to share with you my very top 10 favorite brain foods. Like, what should you eat to have better focus? What should you eat to have a better memory? What should you eat to have better mental acuity, to be a clearer thinker? And talk about those nutrients specifically. So I'm going to tell you the top 10, and here's the thing, don't write it down. Don't write down these top 10 foods. I want you to memorize them, and I'm going to show you how to memorize them in this lesson also, kind of like as a fun brain bonus. So in no specific order, I like avocados. Really good for your brain, avocados. After that, because they're very brain protective. Number 2, I like brain berries. They're actually blueberries. I call them brain berries. I want you to think about blueberries, antioxidants. They're so good for your brain. Number 3 is broccoli. Broccoli, you know, your parents were right. Eat that broccoli, so good for you. Number 4 is coconut oil. Coconut oil, very good for the brain. Number 5 are eggs. If that's part of your diet and you could eat eggs, very good. Choline, vitamin E, omega-3s, very good for the brain. That's number 5. Number 6 are green leafy vegetables. Green leafy vegetables like collard greens, kale, spinach, very good for your brain. Number 7 is wild-caught salmon. If you like fish and you can eat fish as part of your diet, salmon is wonderful. It has the omega-3s, very brain protective. Also sardines, very good for the brain. Number 8 is really going to stand out for you. It's turmeric, the spice, right? So I want you to think about turmeric. It's really good at lowering inflammation in the body and the brain. And finally, 9 and 10. Number 9 are walnuts. Walnuts. And even if you look at walnuts, there's this signature of nature, right? Signature, sign of nature. Walnuts kind of look like the brain. Kind of like carrots, you cut them and you see it kind of looks like the eye also, and avocados they match the organ and the body part that they're actually serving and nurturing. So that's number 9, are walnuts. And finally, number 10, this is, I saved the best for last, dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, endorphins, really good for your mood and your focus, energizes you. Dark chocolate, the darker the better, is number 10. I'll add number 11 also is water. You know, an extra bonus. Your brain is mostly water. We need to drink and stay hydrated. It's very important because bioelectrical, you want to improve those kind of neural connections. Hydrate, all right? So that's 11. But let's go through the 10. Now, these are the foods that you want to incorporate as much as you can into your diet. Also talk to your healthcare practitioner also as well. Now I'm going to give you a memory aid on how to memorize these. And this is the fun part, forwards and backwards. Okay, and when you have it, then you can go to your grocery store and you don't even have to write down your grocery list in triplicates. Have you ever gone to the store and you wanted to get one thing and you come back with like 2 bags of things? With the exception of what? That one thing you went to the store for, right? And so I'm going to show you how to memorize a list of groceries and a really fun technique to memorize these 10 things. So next time you're at the grocery store, you don't even need the list. You have the list inside your mind. And you're going to do this in a matter of a couple of minutes. So let's begin. There is a technique that we teach, and we're going to go deeper in it in a future lesson based on locations, because we tend to remember where things are in our life. In fact, when you forget someone's name, usually you ask yourself, where do I know that person from, right? Because the context, the location, helps you to remember the content, which is the person's name. So knowing that, there's a location that you have that you carry around all the time. It's called your body. So what I'm going to do is take 10 places on your body, and we're going to call this your body list. Right? We have your sun list. This is going to be called your body list. We're going to take 10 places on your body going from top to bottom, literally top to bottom. And so we're going to do it together. Now, when I do this, in order to make this active, right? You remember FAST, the A stands for active. You know, roll up your sleeves, get involved. I want you to do this with me, all right? So take your finger, point it to the top of your head and say top. Say it out loud, top. So this is the top. Number 1 is top here. Number 2 is your nose going down your body. 2 is what? Say it out loud. Nose, very good. 3 is going to be your what? Your mouth. 3 is your mouth. 4 are your ears, so just touch your ears and say it out loud. What's 4? Are your ears. 5 is your larynx, your larynx. This is like your throat area, your larynx. So that's 1 through 5. Do we have it? How's your memory? Remember, it's super, because your super brain, your super memory. So 1 was what? Top. 2 is what? Nose. 3 is what? Mouth. 4 is ears. 5 is larynx. Good, we're halfway there, because there's 5 places so far. We're going to 10. Number 6 are your shoulders. So point to your shoulders. 6 is what? Shoulders. 7 is your collar. Good, 7 is your collarbone. 8 are your fingers. Go like this. 8 are your fingers. 9 is your belly. 9 is your belly. And finally, 10 is your seat, your rear end. Literally, we're going top to bottom. And this is your rear end. So this is going to be called your seat. We're going to call it your seat. All right, so let's see if we remember this really fast. Number 1 is what? Say it out loud. Top. 2 is nose. 3 is mouth. 4 ears. 5 larynx. 6 shoulders. 7 collar. 8 fingers. 9 belly. And finally 10 is your seat. Very good. We have 10 places. And now you have places to store new information. And we're going to talk about this in a future lesson on how to give a speech without notes. People ask all the time, how do you train all these Hollywood actors to memorize their scripts, these CEOs to go on television and do big presentations without teleprompters and such? One of the ways of doing this is storing information on filing systems in different places. All right, so we have 10 locations here, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the 10 grocery items we need to, let's say we're going to have a super brain party because we're going to celebrate. You're going to go through this entire quest together, and at the end we're going to have a big party, right? And someone calls you up and they say, someone from Mind Valley calls you up and say, you're close to the store, can you go get this stuff? But you're driving and you can't write it down. Or you pick up the phone, maybe you're in the shower, and I don't know why you'd be picking up the phone in the shower, but you need to write down this list and you can't write it down, so you have to remember it, right? So you're just going to put it on your body. Watch how it works. We'll learn it by doing it. Okay, so the first place is the what? Top of your head. The first food are avocados. And I want you to imagine you're 8 years old and you're putting avocados all over the what? Top of your head. So the key to make this work is just pretend you're a child again. You're 8 years old and use your power of your imagination. I want you to imagine avocados on the top of your head. And that's why it's memorable. It's silly, it's shocking, it's very different, and those are qualities to help you to remember. So imagine avocados, you're making guacamole on the top of your head. And you don't want to just hear me say it, I want you to see it, because we think in pictures. Now, what was the second place on your body? It was the what? Nose. The second item, my favorite top 10 favorite brain foods, are blueberries. So I want you to, what can you picture? Imagine blueberries coming out of your nose. They're brain berries coming out of your nose. What do they smell like? What do you see? What do you feel? Blueberries coming out of your nose. Maybe they're squished up. All right, good. Third place is what? Is your mouth. And what's coming out of your mouth? A big stalk of broccoli. Big stalk of broccoli. And you can't just, here's the thing, you can't make it too logical. It can't just be you in your mouth just chewing on broccoli. That's not memorable. That's too ordinary. The goal is to make it extraordinary inside your mind. So imagine lots of broccoli filling your mouth. See that? Just kind of pumping out your cheeks. Broccoli, good. The fourth place is what? Your ears, good. And I want you to remember coconut oil, coconut oil. So just imagine coconuts or coconut oil, if you know what that is, coming out of your ears. It's like, not your earwax, but it's like coconut oil coming out and you're like, ooh, and if it makes you feel something, remember, information combined with emotion becomes a long-term memory. Information combined with emotion becomes a long-term memory. So we want to make it fun and interesting. That was your ears. What's coming out? Coconut oil. Fifth place is what? Your larynx, right? Larynx. And the fifth item on your grocery list for your super brain party and the super brain in your mind are eggs. Like just imagine you have an Adam's apple, but instead of that, it's like an egg or hard-boiled egg, or somebody's throwing eggs at your throat, your larynx. Do you see that? You feel that? That would never happen. That's why you remember it. By the way, we've done half the list so far. Do you remember those grocery items? What was on the top of your head? Avocados, right? What was coming out of your nose? Say it out loud. Blueberries, good. What was coming out of your mouth? Broccoli. Out of your ears? Coconut oil. And your larynx is what? Are what? Eggs. Very good. Number 6 are your shoulders. And you're looking at your shoulders, and on the side of your shoulders are green leafy vegetables. Do you see them on the side? You're like making a salad. You see spinach, you see kale, you see collard greens on your shoulders, right? Number 7, what's the 7th place on your body? It's your collar, right? The 7th item for your super brain diet, if you will, salmon. So just imagine a necklace of fish, salmon and sardines. Do you see that? Do you smell that? What does that smell like? What does that even taste like? Salmon necklace on your collar. Good. That's number 7. 8 are what? Your fingers. And the 8th item for your super brain grocery list is turmeric. Now, if you don't know what turmeric is, it's kind of like this golden powder. And so I just want you to imagine spice that you're putting your fingers into this golden powder. It actually stains, it does stain, and it gets all over the place. So just imagine you look at your fingers, it's covered in turmeric powder, right? It's kind of golden orange. That's on your fingers. You see it? Do you feel it? Good. You smell it? Very nice. Number 9 is what? It's your belly. And the 9th item on your grocery list that you need to remember for our big Quest party are walnuts. So I just want you to imagine either a belt full of walnuts or maybe walnuts coming out of your what? Your belly button. That would never happen, but would you ever forget it if it did happen, right? So walnuts coming out of your belly button. And finally, the 10th place on your body is your what? It's your seat. And that's dark chocolate. And honestly, I don't want to know what you picture. Dark chocolate on your seat, whatever you picture, imagine that. Good for you. Just picture it, but you have to see it, all right? Now, you are at the health food store. We can't wait to see you at the celebratory Super Brain Quest celebratory graduation party, and you're in charge of getting the groceries. And we told you while you're driving, you got to get these 10 Super Brain foods, and you couldn't write it down, so you put it on your body, and now you're in aisle 1 at the grocery store. What's the very first thing that you need to get? Go to the top of your head, say it out loud. Avocados, very good. Second thing is what? Coming out of your nose, blueberries. The third thing is, out of your mouth, say it out loud, broccoli, very good. Number 4, coconut oil, very good. And notice that if I didn't say it a split second earlier, you would have got it. Certain associations are better. The key is visualization and emotion. What do you see and how does it make you feel? If it doesn't register there, then you're not gonna remember it. What number are we up? Coconut oil here. Number 5 is your larynx. What was there? Eggs, good, very good for the brain. Number 6, what's on your shoulders? Good, green leafy vegetables. Number 7, on your collar, you have the fish, salmon, wild salmon, and what? Sardines, very good. Number 8, what's covering your fingers that you can't get off? This golden powder called turmeric, very nice. And number 9, walnuts. And finally, number 10 on your seat was, of course, your favorite, dark chocolate. And there you go. How's your memory? Super, right? And so I asked you to say super because that's part of your affirmations, right? Because remember, your mind is always listening to your self-talk. It's always eavesdropping on your self-talk. You want to make it positive, you want to make it super. So congratulations. If you got any part of that, whether it's 5, 6, 7, 8, remember, you want to celebrate your progress. It's not to be perfect, but it's to make progress. And that's what you're going to do every single day as you tune in for these lessons. Now, also where we get our nutrition, because your brain needs nutrition and novelty. The other place we get nutrition, as we mentioned, are brain supplementations, right? That was number 4 on your key list, brain nutrients. And so what I would say is if you're not able to, I always prefer food and getting the nutrition from my diet personally. You should talk to your healthcare provider, your dietitian, your nutritionist, because I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a pharmacist, I'm not anything that ends with an ist. But I would say that these foods give you the important brain nutrients. So have a blood test done, see which of the brain nutrients you're lacking. Maybe your lifestyle, you're traveling a lot, you can't eat those, fresh, organic foods. Then you can supplement vitamin E, very important, very protective for your brain. Make sure you have the fundamentals. A good multivitamin that's strong in vitamin E, very protective of the brain. Your B vitamins, very, very good for the brain. Omega-3 oil, very good for the brain. So talk to your healthcare practitioner and really come up with a good brain protocol. What I want you to do, what we always do at the end of every lesson, is go to the tribe and go to the community and share how many of the 10 brain foods did you remember using this technique, and post that so everyone can encourage each other and also learn from each other also as well. And of course, go to your local grocery store and pick up as many of these brain healthy foods as you can, and because they're so yummy, and just talking about that makes me hungry, so I'm going to eat them myself, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's lesson.